Aho, brothers of the axe. It's Joe here. I'm out on the bench tonight, trying out yet another camera angle, guys. Just trying to switch it up for everybody. So yeah, I'm out on the bench tonight, and the wife wanted me to go hang out in the backyard, let the dog run around a little bit because she cracked one of her nails, so she's kind of limping a little bit, and really probably wouldn't be up for taking a long walk tonight. So in lieu of going for a walk, I was sent out in the shed to hang out here with the dog. So I figured what I would do is just kind of recap my weekend and did some trading with a buddy, guy that some of you guys might know, the uh, the brother Joe Buckley, the the full size double bit slinging son of a gun Joe Buckley. So I met Joe in person. Oh shoot, I guess it was about a month or so ago. Happened to be walking through a local flea market that I know a couple of my viewers walk frequent. But anyway, I'm walking through a local flea market, and of course I know Joe from YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. And I've seen all of his shorts, so I happened to walk past him, and it just registered to me. Oh, hold on a second, I know this guy. So I turned around and, hey, are you Joe Buckley? And it took him a second to realize who I was, but wound up exchanging numbers with Joe. He and I share a mutual friend in Alex from Chef Teak. So exchanged numbers with him, been corresponding with him, and we actually met up again last weekend and hit up the antique mall. Did some trading with a couple vendors. Joe had a couple good pickups, and then we went back to Joe's shop, and I got to tour Joe's shop, which is really cool. He's got a lot of cool stuff at his house, and we made some plans to do some wood splitting. So in the future, we're going to see a video at Joe Buckley's home base, and we'll do some wood splitting. And I think there's some stuff that needs to be bucked um, over at Buckley's house. So, but yeah, one of the things we wound up doing was just an impromptu trade. So I'm going to kind of go over what's getting sent over to Joe. And I think I'm going to go top down and show you a couple things that I got. But first and foremost, I got a couple hung axes from him already, so I wanted to show these off. The first one is this Sentry Boys Axe. Let's see here. So that's a Sentry branded, stamped, nice clean stamp on a nice straight. You can see no twisting or anything, but a nice straight, what I'm assuming is a 28 or a 29-inch handle. Nice, slim. Not a super thick palm swell on this one, but nice feeling handle, nice swinging handle. This needs an edge for sure, but it's got a nice clean profile. It's got a bit of a flatter cheek, sort of a wedgier profile, but I like this head. And I did a little research on the brand, so it turns out Sentry is a hardware store brand, and this was more than likely made by later era man. So nice head, real clean, nice crisp pole on it, no real bit damage or anything. So always nice to get a clean example of a nice pattern with a nice stamp in great shape. So, and I'm not sure if I'll leave it on this handle or maybe make a shorter handle for it, or maybe throw it on a 24 pack or something like that, but I'll figure that out. Um, but yeah, I was happy to get this one. And then taking a big step up from this one, I was really happy to get this one. So this is a Sager, and I'm assuming that this is maybe a peeling pattern or a reversible pattern, something like that. I don't think this is a swamper. Where's my swamper? So that's what I would consider to be a swamper. I think this one has a lot more upsweep and downsweep to the heel and to the toe. So I think this might be technically a peeler. But this is kind of a different Sager stamp than a lot of people know. Let's see. There we go. So this is the Sager stamp that doesn't say chemical axe. This one is stamped Sager, and then what does it say? I think Warren Axe and Tool, and I want to say Lewiston, Pennsylvania, something like that. But I'm always on the hunt. I like Sagers. I think they're really cool. I think they have a lot of history. It's good Pennsylvania axe, so you know I'm on board. This one's got a beautiful, beautiful slim handle. Unfortunately, it does have some cracking in it, but if anything, I think I might use it as a template for future double bits. But I'm not sure if this is hung upside down. And frankly, I'm shocked that Joe traded this to me, because if any of you guys are sub to him, he's got a YouTube channel as well, and he does a lot of throwing, and he does a lot of double bit throwing, and this thing couldn't be any cooler of a thrower. So I'm just grateful that he let this go. But I'm really happy with this Sager. This is a cool one, and I like double bits. I know a lot of guys are kind of, people are hot and cold with double bits. They're not my absolute favorite, but I grew up swinging a double bit. The quintessential axe around my house growing up was a Kelly, Michigan, a flint edge Michigan, a 3-line flint edge Michigan. And that was just the axe around our house. My dad split cords and cords and cords and cords of firewood, and he'll probably chime in here too. But he had that axe forever. And one day he was chopping firewood in the winter. I think I was out in the morning or something like that, and the toe wound up chipping off of it pretty badly. So what we wound up doing was we actually took an angle grinder and ground it flat on the top and made almost kind of like a little cruiser sort of out of it. And that was one of the first handles I ever carved. I think we put it on a 26 or so inch maple handle. And that handle was probably terrible, and I don't even know where that is. If I could find that, I'd love to find that and maybe make a new handle for it. But I'm just taking the long way around to saying double bits have a special place for me because I grew up swinging a double bit. So I'm always a big fan of the double bits. And then the third head we got was really cool, really special. I think I might switch the camera to a high overhead view to show you guys that. But one of the things that I did want to do is, and Machinist Mike the Tinkerer, this one's for you, buddy. We're going to do a wrist check. So today I'm rocking the Seiko Samurai Save the Oceans edition, and I have this on a leather NATO. So that's what I'm rocking as far as the watch. And then I don't know if you guys can see or not. Focus on this. So this was I got this for Father's Day, and I haven't really worn it, I don't think, on camera yet, because it's it's my good hat. But anyways, this is a Brandt & Cochran ball cap that my wife and my daughter, if you guys can see that, my wife and my daughter got that for me for Father's Day. So I was happy to get that. That was a cool surprise. I was not that my family don't hook me up for Father's Day typically, but usually it just was kind of cool that they know what I'm into and hooked me up with something cool like that. So but yep, rocking the Brandt & Cochran today. What else do we got? A little cup of coffee, wet the whistle, and this is just some Starbucks, fresh ground Starbucks from the coffee pot at home. Trying to think of what else though, guys. Anyways, yeah, like I said, had a good time at the flea market on Sunday. Not that many axes. Wasn't a great day for axes. There was a really cool Chaz Parker 5-inch vise. I think probably was 100, well, maybe 85 to 100 pounds. I wanted $100 for it. And honestly, if I had the room, if I had the space for another one, I would have grabbed it. It was a, what do you call it? A hardtail. It wasn't a swivel. It wasn't a swivel base. It was a stationary base, and I already have a stationary base Chaz Parker. Um, so it was kind of, what's the word here? Redundant, superfluous. It would have been redundant to have that because I already have a 4-inch Chaz Parker. Pardon me, Chaz Parker vise, good 50-pounder. So, anyways, see what else, guys. Let's go top down. Let's flip the camera and go top down. All right, guys. So this is the piece. This is the piece de resistance of the trade right here. Some of you guys may have seen the short that I did the other day, and this is a Collins Legitimus Connecticut pattern. And it's in really nice shape. We've got a really nice crisp stamping on it. Tiniest little bit of mushrooming. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit of mushrooming on that side. This side, not bad at all. Somebody did hammer on the pole just a couple times. But beautiful profile on this one. Nice full bit. Not really towed or anything like that. But yeah, just a gorgeous example of a Collins Legitimus Connecticut. And I have its twin brother or sister. So this is one that I already have set up as a user. This thing has a screaming edge on it. Really nice grind. And this is on a 31-inch. Hand carved 31-inch. Can't remember what kind of swells these are that I laminated on here, but this is a 31-inch, a pattern of my design. And I like it. It's really good. Chops well. The pattern is something that I came up with, I guess, about 1.5 years ago, and it's okay, honestly. If I'm just being totally honest, I've swung a lot nicer handles since then. But I didn't want to take this head off this handle just because I enjoy swinging this axe and it's ready to go. You know, I mean, like you kind of, I wouldn't want to take a usable axe out of commission because I wasn't absolutely in love with the palm swell. So I always had kind of bounced around the idea of throwing this on a Hoffman handle or a 28C or making another one of my own just with a more refined design. But luckily, I don't have to do that because I wound up getting a really, really good trade from Joe. So this is essentially the identical axe. And I think what I want to do is I want to put, as brother Kevin has called it now, has started referring to it as the Kev grind. But I want to take this back, you know, do a nice banana grind on it, really thin it out. This thing is already pretty thin. This thing is, if I had to guess, I'd say it's at least 25. Yeah, 22. It's almost 22 and a half. Just on ground. It's somewhere in between 22 and a half and 25. And I don't think this thing has seen a file in decades. So, if at all, honestly. So yeah, I'd like to try to take this one down to that Kev grind, that 17 and a half, or at a minimum, maybe 20. Really get this sucker thin and choppy. And potentially, maybe, I don't know, would a 28 NEC Osage, would that be, yeah, it's got the tongue. It's got the tongue to fill the eye. Ooh, would that be a sexy looking package? That's what she said. think that might be the move, guys. 28 NEC. I was kind of waiting to grab like an Emerson and Stevens or a Spiller or something like that to put on this NEC, but I don't know, guys. I think this Collins Legitimus on this NEC, man, that would be a sharp looking axe. I think that might be the move. Let me put this away for now. Let me get this Collins hung up on the peg. And let's talk about what Joe is going to get. So Joe is a big plum guy. And oh, also, by the way, we had worked out another trade as well. So nobody think that I got all three of those axes for these three axes. So this is two different trades. Joe also got another axe from me as well. That was not, not part of this whole deal. I gave him that axe this weekend. So I don't want anybody to think I came out on the crazy winning side of that transaction. But Joe's a big plum guy. So he's getting a couple Pozor Rockaways. He's getting this nice 3-2 stamped round box. Yeah, that's a round corner plum. So did a little grind work on this one. Took out some mushrooming on the pole. Kind of thin the bit out a little bit. It still needs a final edge, but nice full bit on this Pozor Rockaway. This jet wing, I think he's going to really like. And this is a round box stamped plum jet wing. Nice bevels, nice full bit. Can't remember where I got this one from. And then this paper label double bit here, this Michigan double bit, is super clean and really clean bevels on this guy. And this is a paper label plum. I believe it to be a paper label plum. So these three plus another axe were up, sent over to Joe. We're going to be probably working on doing some splitting here as the weather cools down. So that's something to look forward to. But, just a quick one from me, guys, tonight, just to kill a little time. Oh, so one thing I wanted to mention again is by the time this is posted, we'll likely be somewhere around the 300 subscriber mark. So I got some pretty good feedback from some people that I value their opinions of. And I think I'm definitely going to move forward with doing a hatchet giveaway of some kind, hand-carved handle. I have some ash stock lying around, so that'll definitely be happening, and I will likely break that up into a couple shorter video series, planning out the handle, cleaning up the head, that kind of stuff, just so that we can kind of keep interest in it as we get closer and closer to the 500 subs. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sticking around tonight, and this is Brother Joe here, reminding you guys, as always, to keep the axe waxed. Gentlemen, have a good night, and I will talk to you on the next one. Take care.